Hello, everyone. I was just thinking this morning that I was involved with people for 7 years that really prided themselves on following Jesus Christ the narrow way, and nothing, I mean nothing, could interfere with that in their view of the world. In fact, you couldn't even have a view of the world. Uh, you could only put your heart towards Jesus each and every day. Um, Say that the man taught that he's so sanctified that he doesn't sin anymore because he's walking in the Spirit constantly. And the prescriptive religion that he holds is to squash anything in the world, squash anybody that doesn't agree with him as not being the Lord's. And he has a following of people that also feel secure by being on that same sheet of music with him, and the narrow way, entering in the narrow way. And you have brothers in there that say, yes, everybody else is just taught the Bible. They're just taught these things, but they don't really follow them like we do. And the man has developed a whole ministry on bashing other brethren. Now, false brethren, having said that, false brethren need to be bashed. They need to be corrected, okay? But you don't bash people that are the Lord's just because they don't fall into your shtick, which is what happened to me. I have been with the Lord for over 40 years, and I've been through many trials. I had Jesus actually with me when I died. Kind of makes me feel like an Old Testament type of disciple, because I've actually seen the Lord. I've actually been with the Lord. I know what it is to be with the Lord. I know what it is to follow the Lord. And in fact, I may know to a greater degree than the people that decided to discard me. And the reason I was discarded is because I had different viewpoints. I took interest in things of the world to a certain degree, and they thought that was, I was loving the world more than Jesus. Well, it's amazing because these idiosyncratic beliefs, this belief system that they have developed, doesn't include anybody that doesn't think exactly, precisely like they do. It's amazing. They actually beat up on people for doing the same things that they do, and they don't even see they're doing it. That's the amazing thing. They are so obsessed with being on the narrow way and entering in with Jesus, that anybody that may have a different viewpoint, or the Lord may even show a wider understanding in, it threatens them. They become rejected and cut that person off. And that's very sad. And it has to do with, I think, being emotionally secure in who they are and how they're following the Lord. And so anything that threatens that, they say, is not of the Lord. But is that the truth? I don't think they're on the narrow road at all. I think they're in a narrow mind. They have a narrow mind rather than being on the narrow road. And they take great pleasure on beating up on people that may disagree with them. And this is a horrible thing, especially to do to a real brother, especially to do to a man like myself that's actually been with the Lord, and not only on this side of eternity, but on the other side briefly. This is just, it makes me furious. How dare you judge someone thinking that you're somehow superior to them for what you do or don't do? And like I said, they don't even realize that they're doing it. They're so they're so involved in their own delusions, actually. And there's something that R.C. Sproul said. He says, "I rest solely in His righteousness and in His atonement, because I know there is nothing I can do to make up for my own iniquity." And that's exactly right. That is the heart of the matter. That we have no good within us, and only because the atonement of Jesus Christ can we move forward. And anybody that thinks that they're so sanctified in Jesus Christ that they sin no more. And anybody who sins, is not on the narrow road and has left the Lord, is, I don't know, a scribe, a Pharisee, the type of people that Jesus would have tipped the tables over. He would have screamed at and railed at, and talked about called them whitewashed tombs, but yet they make this whole ministry about attacking other brethren, that just because they simply might not agree with their doctrinal position. And the thing is, they always talk about, this is not a doctrinal position, this is a spiritual position. So they've convinced themselves that by their own rhetoric that they're in walking with the Spirit of the Lord. But actually they're doing the same things, Romans 4, 1 through 4, I believe it is, that they're doing the same things that they attack other people doing wrong. And so this is something that I learned this morning, and I'm going to put a couple snippets in here of some wording that I've used in the past, and I do believe these things, but they're not necessarily the same. They're truth, but they don't have exactly the same meaning. And you'll see what I mean when I put these snippets, these wording in here from different people. All right, bye.